Here's the coach.
All in all, we have a pretty pleasant December day in the Volunteer State. The chilly rain from last night has moved on. The temps have bumped up a bit here at Nissan Stadium in Nashville. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line between the Houston Texans and the Tennessee Titans. Now a first down throw, Watson. And incomplete to open things up. Stills the intended target, and that'll bring up second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Out of the gun, Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. A very solid gain of 27. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws that quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. Takes two to tango. On first down, it's Watson. Stepping up. He's going to... Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. It's picked up by the Titans. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. The 30, 10, 5. And they're going to bring this one back. A fumble return touchdown for the Titans. And that's a linebacker showing he can move pretty good with a football in his hand.
That's not just a short shuttle now. He took it and went a pretty good distance, didn't he? Did you get the 40 time on that?
I didn't, but he got 6 points out of it. I know that in a great play for that defensive unit. Extra point put through by Succop, and that makes the score 7-0. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And right now, a lot to like on that screen. They've wrapped up the division, now currently sitting in the coveted number 2 spot. Of course, you'd love number 1, but if you can't have one, number 2 is pretty good.
I agree with you totally, and here's the other part, too. The really good teams, the really confident teams, they're not as worried about being number 1. 2 is fine because they feel like they can go on the road and win against number 1 if they absolutely have to. The big thing, though, is clinching one of those early buys and able to sit and get a little rest as the playoffs begin.
He'll buy some time right, and that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Off of play action, it's Watson. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty. And it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And the Texans scoop it.
Kick catch interference. Kicking team.
A little too amped up there, got to him before he had a chance to catch it.
Another example of players in tough spots getting the protection that they deserve. Got to make sure that he's able to catch the ball before you get to him.
Tannehill now to throw. Throw left side, complete to Sharp. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. He will find Davis on the left side, complete. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
60 outlaw. Double tight, guys. Ready? You got three. Deep grip.
On 2nd and 12, Tannehill throwing the out route incomplete. That's Smith. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Set. 30 base. Let's go, deep.
Tannehill going to throw on 3rd and 1. And he finds his target. It's Sharp. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 31-yard line. Tannehill on the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Play action. It's Tannehill. Blitz coming, and down he goes. J.J. Watt, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. This is Dion Lewis now in his 9th NFL season. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. 3rd and long, it's Tannehill. It's brought in by Adam Humphries. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Update now from a game going on in Pittsburgh. The Bills have taken the early lead. Frank Gore, a first-quarter touchdown there. And now out comes Houston. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
Now the pass, and it's into the arms of Hopkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards on the play.
65.
Faking the give. Now Watson rolling to his right. And this is caught by Fells, right side. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Watson. Hopkins on the grab over the middle.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is.
Looking for his tight end, Fells, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football, because as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change, a quarterback, running back, tight end, it doesn't matter. Give better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Tannehill. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. And that will be incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Mike 5-5, Mike 55, Mike 5-5. I smell fear.
Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. And he whips that one incomplete there. DeAndre Hopkins, the Pro Bowler, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
Let's go, defense.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. The Texans with the first opportunity now from the red zone. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11th. Now a run with High. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Watson just beating the play clock. And that is caught. And the record is his. It's a touchdown. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Coming up later tonight, Sunday Night Football, a good one in SoCal. The Vikings and the Chargers from Dignity Health Sports Park. Coverage at 8:20 Eastern, 5:20 Pacific on EA Sports. Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their own 24. Now it's Tannehill. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Tannehill. Pass caught left side by Humphries. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there and a first down. Tannehill now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Now a play fake, and it's Tannehill. Going up top. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Titans. Corey Davis, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Titans are able to extend their lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Watson, off play action. They'll roll him out right. Going deep. They got his man complete. The 20, 10, and he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins. An 80-yard touchdown as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides of this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Tannehill. Walker with a grab, left side. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. The Titans on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Back to throw, Tannehill. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
He'll return it from the 6. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And they're going to bring this one back. A fumble return touchdown for the Titans.
The defense is doing their best, but they're struggling right now. They'll look for some help from their own offense to keep them in the game.
So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
Touchdown, Houston.
That's us. That's us.
After review of the play.
So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen because both sides had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back and start over.
Here's Watson. Off play action. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Hopkins. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now Watson off the play fake, rolling to his left. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Back-to-back nice gains, that one for 14 yards and another first.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action.
Push him back. Push him back.
Off the play fake, Watson. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins as the first half is winding down. And the Texans have taken the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Are you looking forward?
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try to get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. It's an intermission.
Typically what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Barkevious Mingo in that time on the tackle.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Here's Tannehill. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, That's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. Now, this defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that a mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Watson now. Off play action. Going deep for Hopkins. And that's caught inside the 30. And they're going to have this all the way down deep into Tennessee territory. The Clemson connection. Watson to Hopkins for a big one. 51 yards.
What we got?
They'll run high. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now instead of coming right back with a running play.
And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Carlos Hyde. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Texans push further out in front. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Tannehill, throw left side, complete. That's Walker. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Lewis here on 1st down. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Tannehill. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Tannehill. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Getting set to go again, DeAndre Hopkins marches back onto the field. And he is just one reception away from 10 in this game. I don't know what they need to do defensively, but something has to be altered, does it not?
I know that whenever we tried to cover a person who's having a game like this, you're trying to vary what you're doing, trying to change things up, hoping to fool him occasionally. If not fool him, fool the quarterback so that maybe he doesn't read the coverage correctly. Right now, though, they're in pretty good sync.
Watson off the play fake. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25. His big game continues. Already has the 3 touchdown grabs, tacking on some more yardage and a first down.
And how precise has his route running been in this game? We just saw him get open yet again, and he's also made adjustments as the defense has tried to really stop him.
Check, watch 54, watch 54. Check right.
They run it again with Hyde. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. Got an extra defensive back out there for the Titans now here for 3rd down. Off play action. Watson. Flush to his right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Cameron Wake, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Here's Matt Wild now. Yeah, the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. Back now in Nashville as we are just about set to go here in quarter number 4. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Tennessee offense making their way out onto the field as you take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. So the pass goes out of bounds, but he was not outside of the tackle box when he threw that. He's got to be careful.
You and I both know if it's even close, they're going to give it to the quarterback. They don't want to throw that flag unnecessarily. So if you're just in the area, you're going to be okay.
And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. The Titans try it, but ultimately they fail on 4th down. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
A good pickup there, 7 yards, and it's going to be 2nd and goal now. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try the air now with Watson to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, Brandon, we see why it's a team game there, because there's a sigh of relief that they just released defensively. If he's able to get that one away, that's likely a touchdown. But instead, that pressure from the front got to him and forced the incompletion.
You're right. He had him open, just a split second too late on the release. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Defensively, they rallied the troops to force 4th down after that 7-yard pickup back on 1st. No movement from the field goal unit. They've got 4 full yards to go here on 4th and goal to hit pay dirt, but they're going to go for it. They will indeed snap it to Watson. Escaping the pressure. Touchdown, Texans.
The defense was almost too good on that play. They took away all of his targets. The one thing they forgot, to to account for him as a runner, and he's able to tuck it and go for the end zone and get it done.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their own 26. A throw left side to start the drive is complete. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Tannehill now to throw. He'll get this one into the hands of Lewis. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Tannehill. And he finds his target. It's Sharp. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Tannehill to the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Again, Tannehill. It's caught on the right side. It's Smith. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Tannehill throwing again. And that one finds the ground, breaking a string of 5 straight completions. And it brings up 2nd down. No, 3rd down. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Here's Tannehill. And now he lost the football. Tannehill loses it. And the Texans scoop it. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand, but put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Off of play action, it's Watson. Sliding out of the pocket. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well.
And it's a fake here on 4th and inches. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. Now, this worked, so I guess I shouldn't be nitpicking too much, but they only had a couple of inches to go. Why fake punt?
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. If you're going to go ahead and try and pick it up in that short of a distance, I wouldn't even go into fake punt formation. This is like using up a big play for no reason at all. Leave your offense on the field and pick it up. But again, what were we doing? We're nitpicking, right? Because they did get it.
It worked. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. They go play action here on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
I like his thought process and his ability to move and get downfield. But what I didn't like was the final decision, to go out of bounds. They want to keep the clock moving. Instead, they give the defense an extra timeout.
And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and minicamps. For these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on first and goal. Throwing now, Watson, and got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Kenny Stills, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans push further out in front.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You can see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.